MAGA world is on fire today because the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops just torched the Trump administration in a way only the Catholic Church can. If this keeps up, Catholics aren't going to be allowed to join in any MAGA games. I'm going to give the full details of what the bishops have done now and the hilarious response. So hit that subscribe button so we can continue to bring you the kind of media content and analysis that corporate media thinks is too sinful against Mammon to bring you. It's been a very rough month for MAGA and their white Christian nationalism. First, Pope Leo rejected Trump's invitation to join the Board of Peace, which Trump created because he is without a doubt bored of peace. Why anyone would think that either Pope Leo or one of his emissaries would want to rub elbows with Trump and Jared Kushner defies reason. But then, when has Trump and his MAGA movement ever committed an act of reason? Soon after that rejection, Pope Leo rejected Trump's invitation to come to America on July 4th to celebrate the 250th signing of the Declaration of Independence. And to add insult to injury, Leo basically told Vance, who delivered the invite in person, "Nah, I'm going to be too busy taking care of poor African migrants on Lampedusa to come and lend you some legitimacy." But as upset as MAGA got from a rejection, they are really on fire with the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, who went way further than merely rejecting Trump. They knocked on the door of the Supreme Court and said, "Oh, yes, hi there. We just wanted to tell you that Trump and his cronies are as wrong can be, both from a legal standpoint and from a moral standpoint when it comes to birthright citizenship." Because the Conference of Catholic Bishops submitted an amicus brief to the Supreme Court opposing the Trump administration's attempt to remove birthright citizenship. And for all the furor and outrage it's committing, you would think that the bishops are asking everyone to turn in their guns. The brief was submitted by Matt Martins, who works for a D.C. law firm, but was also constructed by counsels from Hale and Dorp in Boston and San Francisco. The brief is nearly 20 pages long, not counting citations and notes, and it makes the case on behalf of the bishops and their position that the dignity of all people requires that birthright citizenship be maintained. Obviously, it's a more complex argument if it runs for 20 pages, but it's worth quoting this part. At its core, this case is not solely a question about citizenship status or the 14th Amendment. It is a question of whether the law will affirm or deny the equal worth of those born within our common community, whether the law will protect the human dignity of all God's children. And at least one of the reasons the church is making this argument is to remind the court of the context by which the Supreme Court first established the precedent for birthright citizenship. That case was based on a Chinese immigrant, Wong Kim Ark, who the U.S. wanted to get rid of because, he was Chinese. The court stepped in and said, nah, it don't work that way. Well, as I mentioned, both MAGA and right-wing Catholics are going insane. Of course, there's the typical, the church should stay out of politics, but the amount of people coming out of the woodwork to argue that the Constitution doesn't say what it says is incredible. My favorite has to be this one. John Eastman's razor-sharp SCOTUS amicus brief shatters the myth of automatic citizenship for children of illegal aliens. 14th Amendment never meant it. John Eastman? Somebody in this world is going to reference the disbarred John Eastman, the election fraud John Eastman. Please, bring in Sidney Powell next. And here's another good one. The U.S. Catholic bishops argue in an amicus brief that the U.S. policy of birthright citizenship is a requirement of human dignity and restricting the policy is immoral. But few nations allow for birthright citizenship. The Vatican doesn't. Okay, yeah, so gotcha. The Vatican doesn't allow birthright citizen because it is the only celibate country in the world. And it sounds convincing when you say few nations allow it, but then look at this map. And what do you see? That nearly every country in the Americas, the countries founded under colonialism, recognize birthright citizenship, while Europe, the colonizers, do not. or at least place restrictions on it to be more accurate. So, okay, you want to fly the banner of neocolonialism? You go, dude. What MAGA and the right-wing Catholics are really mad at is that the days of the Catholic Church being the lapdog of the political right are over. There are several Catholics on the Supreme Court, and MAGA is worried they are no longer under MAGA control, that they might actually pay attention to what the Church has to say. But worse, under Pope Leo's direction, and with a core group appointed by Pope Francis, the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops is now a group focused on social justice, human rights and dignity, and peace. They are working on becoming a prophetic voice. That means they are way, way out of step with the right wing. So much for the glory days of pay, pray, and obey, huh, guys? And just wait. I don't think you're going to see Pope Leo or the U.S. Catholic bishops support or stay silent on Trump's war with Iran. I'm Anthony Vincent Gallo for Occupy Democrats. And if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. You'll not only help out our channel, you'll be taking concrete action and helping get rid of Trump and the MAGA movement who ushered him in.